Welcome to Alignment Adventures, a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I'm so dang glad you're here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alignment Adventures. I'm so happy and grateful that you are here with me in this moment. And I just want to say I'm so appreciative that you are here because this episode was released a little bit late this week. As you guys know, I've been committed to Mondays for almost 2 years now, which can you believe the podcast is almost 2 years old? Like if it was a person, it would be like a toddler. It's just so cool to think about because I absolutely love doing this podcast. I love sharing these thoughts, these ideas, these guest interviews, these conversations, all the things on how to live an aligning life. And I'm in such an interesting season right now as I completely adjust to motherhood and to taking care of another human. That's why it's taken me so long to release this podcast is, as you guys know, if you are parents, your life is kind of like on a 3-hour or however many hour cycle. So that's when I pump to get him his food. And then from there, it's just kind of like a cycle every 3 hours. And that only leaves like an hour to 45 minutes when it's all said and done, if he is sleeping, to get stuff done. And that's just such a major shift as someone, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, that has been just taking care of themselves their whole life, to now a majority of your day is devoted to taking care of someone else. It can be very disorienting. It's such a happy and joy-filled and just full of so much love time in my life. But it can also be very disorienting because I'm not doing the things that I used to do with my days. I rarely am meditating or doing yoga. I'm starting to incorporate yoga back in to get some exercise and some movement. But meditating, not so much. Reading, not so much. Listening to podcasts, here and there. And that can just make me feel like not myself. And I'm just really trying to get back to those routines where I can. I know they're going to look different now. I know it's not going to be the same. And by the way, if you can hear him in the background, that just is what it is now. There's no quiet in this house at this point. And that's okay. That's real life, right? You're going to hear my baby cry in the background, and that is real life. I want to bring you guys the real stuff, not just the curated things. So with all that being said, I am definitely still adjusting to this new season, this new life. I am so in love with this tiny human. I'm so obsessed with this tiny human. And at the same time, I'm so tired. And times I feel, I don't know if lost is the right word, not lost, but just disoriented sometimes. Like I'm still finding the new groove of the new Lindsay. And that really is such a good lead into today's topic because who we are at our core is just awareness and existence, right? That's going like super duper deep. But who we are as this person in this lifetime, which you guys know, I believe in many different lifetimes that our souls have come here. Who we are in this lifetime evolves and it changes, and that's okay. That's how it should be. Nothing is permanent. That's the beauty and the paradox of it all. Nothing is permanent. Things are always changing. You see that in nature, and we see that with ourselves. And surrendering to that and allowing that and kind of riding the flow of that change is a huge part of living an aligning life. And a lot of suffering and challenge and fear can come from resisting that change. Because I know a lot of you can probably agree when you can feel a change coming in your life, and a lot of uncomfortability or a lot of suffering comes from when you resist that change, when you don't like go with the flow of the change. So this is my reminder to you, whatever season you're in, whatever transition is coming up for you, or that you are in the middle of, or maybe you're in a easy breezy part of life. Just surrender to that. Whatever is there in your reality, surrender to what is coming to you in the present moment. I know I need that reminder daily. every second, and I'm really trying to soak up this time, even though it is a really challenging time. I'm sleep deprived, but I'm also taking care of this adorably cute human. It's just the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows. There's so much that comes with it. But today I want to talk about something that I actually got the idea for a while back, and I took note of it because I was like, oh, this is such a good topic. I want to bring it to the podcast. And I actually got the idea of this topic from a show I was watching on Gaia. Now, you guys have heard me talk about Gaia before. It's like consciousness Netflix. If you're into the stuff that I talk about on here, there's a whole platform where there's so many different shows and movies and talk shows and videos and yoga flows and meditations with all of this stuff. And it's called Gaia. And I'm so excited because I actually have a link for you guys in the description of this podcast where you can get a free trial of Gaia. I believe it's a 7-day free trial, but if you click that link, you can try it out, see if you like the stuff that's on there. Like I said, if you like what's on this podcast, you're going to love Gaia, and they really go there with some of this stuff. So go check it out if it's something that is calling to you or that you're intuitively feeling that nudge towards watching, or again, always ask your internal guidance. Hey, do I need to watch Gaia or do I need to sign up for Gaia? And please use that link in the description of this podcast so you can get your 7-day free trial. So going on with today's podcast topic, I really want to talk about your goals specifically. And I want you to assess if the goals that you are chasing in your life are truly your goals, if they are goals that align with you. Because I know so many of us can get caught up in chasing things that don't even align with us, that don't even bring us true happiness, that don't make our soul light on fire. And if we aren't chasing goals that align with us and do make our soul light on fire, like what are we doing? We don't have that much time here. Even though time is an illusion, we don't have that much time here, and you ultimately deserve to chase goals that do align with you. So I hope that's what this episode is a great reminder for you today. So some things to consider when you're thinking about your goals. Now, goals are tricky in general because I think goals can sometimes take us out of the present moment. I know that they can for me. They're great because they give you something to work towards. They can be very motivating, very inspiring, but they can take you out of the present moment. So for a second, I just want you to think about some goals that you have in your life. Or if you don't have any goals in your life, maybe this episode will help inspire you to come up with some goals that you want to accomplish. But here's the thing about goals. We chase them, and I want to come back to that word chase. We chase them because we think that accomplishing this certain thing is going to make us feel a certain way. Maybe you have a goal to buy a house this year, or to find a partner, or to lose a certain amount of weight, or to run a 5K, or to get a new job. Those are the common ones, right? With health, our job, abundance, and what's the other one? Relationships. So we chase that goal because we think it's going to make us feel a certain way. Now, as you guys know, I've talked about manifesting multiple times on here. The paradox of that is to manifest that thing in our life, we have to allow ourselves to feel that way first, and then we will manifest that in our reality, because we know, according to the law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you actually embody that you have that thing already, then you are going to call it into your reality much more easily, much more flowy, not so much resistance. So that's the first point I want to make with goals. The paradox of the whole goal system. You have the goal in order to feel a certain way. When you can allow yourself to feel that way, how you would feel when you accomplish the goal, and that's going to help you accomplish the goal even faster. So that's my first action step for you. We're going to embed the action steps into the episode this time. Write down how you're going to feel once you accomplish that goal, and allow yourself to feel it. Maybe it's feelings of freedom or joy or accomplishment or love for yourself. What can you do right now to allow yourself to feel those things right now? We are so conditioned to reach for those lower vibe emotions like fear and comparison. And it's just like our natural state because that's what we're conditioned into doing again and again and again. When it's really just a simple reminder of, hey, you can feel good right now. The only person stopping you from feeling this certain way is you. So that is the first point I want to make about goals. Now, the second point I want to make about goals is really when you're analyzing the goal that you're trying to accomplish, are you pursuing this goal to seek validation? Are you trying to prove people wrong? A lot of times we can get caught up in that. I know I have recently even. Like sometimes I think I want to accomplish this thing, but when I ask my internal guidance, which you guys know I'm all about over here, or when I really look at this goal, I realize that it's just a way of me to prove myself. It's not something I truly desire. It's not something that's truly going to bring me joy. It's a way that I think I can, prove myself to who? To society, I guess, by accomplishing this certain goal. It reminds me of that episode I had about how we measure success, where I talked to you guys about how I threw out my Fitbit, which thank goodness I threw out my Fitbit. If I knew how many hours of sleep I got a night, I think that would just really mess with me. I want to live in ignorance of how many hours of sleep I'm getting in this season. But it goes back to, how do we measure success? Like, we think we need to hit all these quote unquote markers or quotas, but is that what's bringing you happiness? Or is that what's just been programmed into us to think that's going to bring us happiness, to have a certain amount in our bank account, or to have a certain amount of followers on Instagram, or to make so much money, or to weigh a certain amount, whatever it is? Like, really look into the quantitative part of your goal, the numbers part of your goal. Is that something that you're reaching for just because it's going to help you validate yourself, really to yourself? Which you don't need to validate yourself to anyone, especially you. I was listening to Bashar with my mom when she was here visiting, which that was such an aligning time to have her here and my sisters so they could meet Arlo, and we just got to hang out. But that is another show to watch on Gaia, the Bashar movie, which I can't remember what it's called right now. Let me look it up real quick, actually. It's called First Contact. And that just walks you through the whole process of who is Bashar, who is Daryl Anka, which is his channeler, all the stuff. If you guys are interested in hearing my top recommendations on Gaia, let me know and I can do an episode on that as well. It's kind of like my top book recommendations, things that are going to help expand your awareness and your consciousness, all that stuff. But anyways, we were listening to Bashar, one of my favorite channels ever. And he was talking about worthiness. Worthiness is such a common topic among all the things we talk about on here. It's like interwoven into all the things we discuss on my podcast, because so many of us don't feel worthy. But by the fact that you exist, you are worthy. I quote Bashar, "Creation in the universe does not make a mistake. The fact that you are here, you are aware, you are conscious, like you are awake, you are worthy. Because if you didn't exist, then you wouldn't exist, right? Like, non-existence doesn't exist, which that's kind of mind-boggling, and that was a tangential point to what he's trying to make. But basically what I'm trying to say is, because you exist, you are worthy of whatever you desire. So do not let that hold you back when you're like analyzing your goals. So that can bring me to my next point. Maybe your goal is off kilter a little bit because you don't think you're worthy of the big goal that you want to accomplish, that big thing that you want to call into your reality. Which, remember, all this stuff we're using is manifestation and law of attraction, like we discussed in the last episode, to call in these goals. That is a huge part of accomplishing your goal, is really leveraging the law of attraction. So go back and listen to that episode if you need to. But you are worthy, beyond worthy, by the fact that you exist and you are here, of any goal that you desire. The point of this episode is, I want to make sure you are chasing the right goals for you. I want you to make sure that your goals align with you, because we can waste so much time and energy which it really isn't a waste because you're going to learn a lesson. You're going to learn that that's not really the thing you want, and it's going to help you get on the right path, right? It's all about perspective. But you can expend so much time and energy maybe working towards something that doesn't align with you. So really gift yourself some time and space where you can analyze this goal. I think one of the easiest ways to do it is, does this goal make you excited? We talked about this again last week, but the things that make you excited are your GPS. It's your GPS towards the thing that you are here to do. So does your goal make you so dang excited to get up in the morning and to go after that goal and to do the baby steps? Because if it's not fun to pursue this goal, and again, this is against like mainstream knowledge of hustle, do the hard work. You got to do the hard work. You got to put in the time and effort. This is going against that stuff. And that's why I'm sharing it here, because I want to share my perspective. But if it doesn't feel fun doing the thing that you're trying to do, that is a huge red flag that you are pursuing something that doesn't align with you. I believe personally we are here to have fun and enjoy. And of course, there are going to be some challenges along the way. I'm not saying what you're trying to pursue, if it does excite you, it's not going to come with challenges. Of course, it might come with challenges. But it should make you so excited, and it should feel fun going after this thing. So hopefully, I feel like a lot of times, sometimes people don't even know where to start. They're like, Lindsay, I don't even know what makes me feel this way. And again, that just takes time. That just takes some research on your part. And that's where finding your alignment list and doing those things that do make you feel good, through that pathway, you're going to find the thing that lights your soul on fire. Just trust me. That is how I've gotten all of my ideas, like for my podcast, for yoga, for all the things I do, just by doing things that feel fun. And then I'm like, light bulb, oh my gosh, I need to be doing this thing. And then I just start doing it. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes I want to self-sabotage myself and tell myself I'm not worthy. Who do I think I am to do that thing? But eventually I get over those mind stories, which I've talked about mind stories a lot on here. I tune into my internal guidance, that internal GPS, and I eventually do the dang thing. So that is why I'm here, to inspire you to do the dang thing that you are called to do in your life, and to really evaluate those goals. So another point I want to make with your goals is, a lot of times they can be connected to suffering in your life. Like, what's a challenge that you've had to overcome in your life? A lot of times that can also lead you towards your path, towards your purpose. I had a whole series on finding your purpose a few months ago. But you have the power to change that challenge into your purpose by helping other people overcome that challenge. So maybe you've overcome something in your life that was really difficult, and you can share that gift with other people. How can you give back to the people around you? A lot of times that's going to help you with your goal too. Like, I love doing this podcast because I love talking about this stuff, obviously, and I feel like it's helping you guys. Like, by me sharing this message, I'm sending out this like wave in all directions that's helping you guys also find your alignment. And when you find your alignment, you're sending out an energy wave that's helping other people feel more happy and joy-filled and all the things. Like, it's just sending out continual waves that just keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. So really think about your goals. Is your goal going to help other people in some way, or could you shift it to help other people in some way? Because I think intrinsically we are motivated by that. Like, we are motivated by helping other people, whether we realize it or not. So that's another thing you can really look at with your goal when you're deciding if it does align with you. Does it also serve other people, either directly or indirectly? Using your suffering to help you grow and to help other people grow is truly taking your power back, and so powerful for your alignment. Now, the last thing I want to say when it comes to your goals is, goals can evolve, goals can change. I have had a lot of different pursuits during my life that I was once pursuing, but I am no longer pursuing. And sometimes I want to have a mind story around that, like, oh, I can't believe I did that thing. But when I look back at it, it was a part of the journey. It was helping me get on the right path to where I am now. And one example of that I want to share with you guys vulnerably is a network marketing program that I'm still kind of a part of, but I just don't talk about as much. But that was Rodan and Fields. So I started selling Rodan and Fields, gosh, I don't even know how many years now. It's right after I moved to Arizona. And it felt so aligned at the time. Like I was looking for something more. I was wanting to make a little bit more money. I was looking for amazing skincare, and it really came in at the perfect time. And I met so many amazing people. I learned so many amazing things, and it really kind of kick-started me on this journey to like self-development, I guess you could say, and ultimately into finding my alignment. Now, currently, I still am a part of that company. I don't really talk about it as much. I still use the products. I still have a few customers, but it just doesn't feel aligning to make that such a big part of my life anymore. I came to the realization and awareness that was no longer aligning for me to share in that way. And after much resistance, a lot of me forcing myself to do it, I finally just gave into the flow of the universe at the present moment. And I kind of let that go. And I've just kind of let that be in the background. Like I said, I still have customers. I still use it, but I don't talk about it as much. And that's okay. It's okay to be really into something and then have that evolve and shift into something else. We can allow that to happen in our life. And again, I think suffering and challenges come from when we resist that change. I had so much suffering from resisting letting go of talking about RNF so much. I made so many stories up in my head. I didn't want to disappoint people. I didn't want to come off a certain way, blah, 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 all these stories. But when I finally just let it go, it all worked out, and it is still working out. And I've been able to evolve and shift into other things that truly light me up, like this podcast, like my YouTube channel where I share yoga flows and meditations and different topics like I do on here. So just allow yourself to shift out of something if you need to. If you need to say no to something that is currently in your reality or goal you're going after, allow yourself to shift. Like I said, we're here to evolve. We're here to change. Nothing is permanent, and that's okay. So I hope this episode was useful for you all. Really, my major action step for you is to just kind of reevaluate your goals. What goals are you chasing? And do those goals align with you? Because like I said before, you are beyond worthy of chasing goals that align with your soul, that light you up, that make you so dang excited to get up in the morning. And you know what? Maybe you don't have any immediate goals right now that you're chasing. Maybe your goal is to just find happiness, to find joy, to make life more fun. That is a beautiful goal. I think that is a goal that we could all be going after. And like I said before, does your goal serve others? When you're in your happiness and your joy and you're having fun, you are spreading that energy to everyone around you. So yes, it is serving everyone. That is not selfish. By you finding your alignment, by you chasing goals that align with you, you are helping everyone because you are radiating the most beautiful energy out to everyone around you. So I want you to know that and be reminded of that and trust that. I think a lot of times we get in this weird story of what we're pursuing is selfish and we're not worthy of it, when it is totally the opposite. We live in such an insane world of just upside downness sometimes. Sometimes our beliefs are so far from the truth, it's really just kind of crazy when you think about it. But what I'm trying to say is you are beyond worthy of whatever goal you're wanting to pursue. All right, my loves, that is all I have for you this week. I have 2 important reminders for you. The first one is check out that link in my description to get your 7-day free trial to Gaia. I promise you, if you love this podcast, you will love Gaia. No more Netflix. Well, you can still have Netflix if you want to. But sometimes I just watch Gaia at night, and that is my aligning activity. That is my unwinding activity. That's what brings me joy. Not so much anymore, but hopefully I will get back into that. My second announcement for you all is that I have actually been uploading these podcast episodes to YouTube as well. Now, it's not like other podcasts you may listen to on YouTube where there's a video that goes along with it where you can see me talking. Eventually, I would love to have that component too, but again, I'm just not there yet in this stage of my life. Sometimes I'm recording these like in my PJs, literally, but it is this podcast audio with a picture with other things up there. I know some people prefer to listen on YouTube, or they prefer to have YouTube on in the background, maybe when they're working or whatever. So you can also listen to the podcast episodes starting with last week's episode and moving forward on YouTube. So go check out my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's got a ton of stuff up on there. Also, if you haven't grabbed my free resource where I have 30 days of alignment journaling prompts, go and do that. That is such a beautiful practice to start. I can't wait to get back into journaling more. Once I have a little bit more of a routine and I'm a little bit more settled into mom life, I'm so excited to get back into journaling because that is one of my favorite things. So I will link all of that in the description. And I'm just sending you all so much love. I'm sending you the best energy. I hope you can feel it through this time-space continuum. And of course, I will see you next week on Alignment Adventures.